So now we come to another amazing partnership. They all are amazing. Johan and Tulani. So, Johan, who's the business partner, I've never quite known somebody to be quite as dedicated and committed to his work, his cycling, his family, his partnership, and live on so little sleep. Him and his partner, his principal, would meet at 6 o'clock in the morning. This year, I have seen Johan consistently show up and engage deeply with all the learning, with all the opportunities. And he engaged with his heart. He's a passionate person about his work. He's passionate about everything in his life. And he was passionate about this program. His partner, Principal Tulani's capacity for being vulnerable and his willingness to admit that maybe he wasn't doing everything exactly as he thought he should was remarkable. Tulani dived into, grabbed, devoured, absorbed every learning opportunity he could, with a smile on his face, sometimes arriving shaking his head from a very difficult issue at work, or with the unions. He's of the union. He would ask and get help and support from the circle. And he was a real role model of how this program helps, assists, and develop a principal who at the beginning thought that actually I'm doing it okay. Over to Johan and Tulani.
This is the school uniform.
This is Tulani, and I refer to him as Buddy, and I'm Johan, and he refers to me as Buddy. So, we just say Buddy all the time, then we know who we're talking to. Okay, so we're going to take you through our journey today. Where we started. Yeah, I don't think this makes a difference, but in any case, for the recording. Okay, so so this is our school. On the left-hand side is Tulani with Ikaneng, and myself with West Bank, and I think this was actually a massive privilege for us to be part of this partnership, and not just from a West Bank perspective, but I mean First Rand as a holding company actually assisted in sponsoring this partnership, and us having the ability to make a difference in this man's school's life over the last year. Okay, so we're going to go through this is a bit of an agenda, and being a banker, I like structure as Chantel said. So we're just going to talk about the needs, and then bridging, how did we start bringing changes in the school, and we had a bit of a paving project, and then we had some inspirational sessions with the educators, to make sure that we're not just adding value to the school infrastructure, but also to the people, because they actually make the difference in the kids' lives. And then some donations, and then a community building project that Tulani will talk about, which was actually quite amazing. And and then a bit of how do we make it real within our world. I think this thing has gone the wrong way around. Okay, Mr. Tulani.
Thanks, Johanna, and good morning to everyone. In terms of challenges, when we met, I said to Johan, we're doing well. I'm just doing this so that I see what these NGOs and these other, because I'm from the union and political background, what are they doing? What's their agenda? I was very skeptical. And having get a hold of what the partnership was all about, I then realized that we needed to identify some needs for the school, and the process involved consultation with all the stakeholders at the school. It was for the first time I realized that we have so many stakeholders. I always thought my stakeholders are teachers and the learners, but through this partnership, we realized how many more people got to be involved. We identified our challenges and then started prioritizing them, given our available resources. We then, from those identified challenges, developed a plan. How are we going to achieve these particular needs? We then said, for us to be able to also check if we are achieving, there has to be continuous measure and evaluation of where we are.
Okay, so I think the journey over the last 12 months, we identified that we're not just going to, we have to cut it up into little chunks, and we identified we needed to talk about staff development, because staffers, they actually make it happen within the school. Then we talked about infrastructure development, what are the needs with the school as we identified, as the SIBA had this list of 23 things. We had a longer list like that, but we actually understood that with the amount of resources you have, you can do so much. And then looking at children activities, and this is just a little photo of those were the kids' playgrounds for the grade R's, and that's where they start their learning, and this is what it's like. Okay, Tulani, talk to us about paving.
Yeah, the paving project, we're a school that is slowly developing, but we had an area that is full of, as you can see, the two buildings is actually the toilets, and when it rains, it's difficult for learners to leave the classes, walk into the toilet. When they come back, they are muddy and all that. And it became a concern. Even during breaks, that's where they needed to play. So what we did, we sat down with my partner. I said, you know what? We don't have resources, but we know there are people who can assist. We then approached brick companies, Western Bricks, and we asked them to donate whatever material that they can donate, broken bricks and all that. It took time, and he's a very persistent man. He was on their ears all the time until we came right, and this is what we did. We then involved the community. These are the donated bricks, half bricks. We then got the community, the parents, to come in to say, you said you don't have money to pave the school. We've got the bricks. Come with the labor. These are the parents of the school and the community assisting, and this is the finished product. Now it's easy for our learners to go to the toilet even when it rains without being muddy.
Okay, and then we understood, so the educators that play a part in the children's lives, Tulani said that they, sometimes they just come to work to pick up a paycheck at the end of the month, and I think that's not what education is about. So we involved one of my ex-colleagues, Shona Selly. She's a motivational speaker. She's got her own business, and she came and actually spent time with the educators, and it was actually an amazing day. Where the lights really went on for a lot of these people, that is not just coming to work, getting a paycheck, but really making a difference in the children's lives. And then we got our own, just one too quick. So we got Pila, that's sitting at the back there. She's our HR executive. And Pila actually came and assisted Tulani and them with, starting to create a culture within the school, because, they talk about culture eats strategy for breakfast. So if there's not a proper culture defined within a business or a school, there's nothing that you can actually execute within the school. Then a bit of donations. Tulani's going to talk to the donations.
We have a number of vulnerable learners. What we did, we then went to get donations. We have challenges with furniture. West Bank donated a lot of old furniture that we had to use. And this is how we used what they did. We then built a desk at the back of each and every class. We have 42 classes, so each and every class now has that particular corner for educators. And this is all material that was donated by West Bank. We also had a donation of blankets and shoes. West Bank donated a lot of blankets for our learners, and we had PEP donating shoes to the 158 vulnerable learners at our school. We also had a donation from West Bank of board games for our grade R. We have 4 grade R classes, and with grade R, it cannot always be chalk and talk. You need to have them involved in activities. Given the limited resources we had, we're very appreciative of the board games that West Bank donated. They are actually assisting to enhance the intelligence of our learners. This is my passion, community building. Remember I said I only thought it's the kids and their parents who are my stakeholders, you know, neglecting the community. But what happened after attending the workshop, after attending this particular workshop, the community building workshop, I gained a lot of ideas, how to involve the community, how to invite the community. We actually had a workshop called parental involvement, and for the first time, I had an attendance of more than 300 parents coming to school. And there was no magic. We just changed the way we invite parents to our institutions. We personalized the invite. Before we would generally say, you are invited. Now we said, Mr. or Mrs. Ngobo, you are invited to the school. They felt special and they responded. You know, that's how we're able to bring the community in the school. We are now able to sustain parental involvement from how you treat your partners, how you make them feel special. Don't make them feel special. No, they are special.
Okay, so from a West Bank perspective, I also felt that we actually had to drive this into our organization, and I started a blog that I ran for about 7 days, where I talked about this journey through Partners for Possibilities, and inspiring some of the West Bankers to actually get involved in community involvement. So this was actually quite it was actually quite a awesome process within our business, for just opening the eyes of some of the employees that work with us in terms of the work that we're doing behind the scenes and the impact that it actually has to the business. Okay, in closing, Tulani's just going to talk around what this is, and you only got 2 minutes, so please.
Okay.
I know you can, only 2 minutes.
Sure, Pat. I think Chantel introduced me as this person who thought I've got it all figured out, and this program humbled me, and actually said there is a lot that you still needed to learn. I've moved from being authoritative, as union officials, you give instructions and they must. It's the line of march, comrade. This is the line of march, no other way. That's how I manage the school. But I've moved to being more authoritative and more consultative, involve everybody, and I promise you'll get good results. The vision that I had is now a shared vision of the community of our school and the parents at the school. There's a lot of parental involvement that I've managed to achieve. I am now able to show appreciation, to the people I work with. Before I thought you are paid to do this work, so do your work, but now I'm able to appreciate the little things that they do, and it makes a difference. That's what I've learned. And also understanding that a team is not one person. A team is everybody who has an interest in what you are doing. That's what I have learned.
But I think from my side that this journey over the last 12 months has had some good inner growth for myself. I really realized that you don't need a massive checkbook to make a massive difference. And children that come from poor communities, they can also stand up in life one day and actually make a difference. And then also getting our team involved. So within the risk management team, we got about 80 odd staff members. And we pulled a lot of the skills that was needed in the school in terms of technical training, Excel training, like that. So we got the guys involved, and I think the best for me about this whole thing, this is not the end of the journey today, but so we got a lot of plans for the year ahead still that we're going to do with the school, and we'll continue this journey with the school. So thank you very much, and we look forward to a brighter future.
And I wouldn't have asked for a better partner than you. Very funny.